me show you guys my car. And I spent a fair amount of time this morning washing it, detailing it. And now that I'm done, or the work is done, I don't really want to drive it and get it dirty again. So I'm taking Michelle's truck instead to make this video, have this chat, this talk, this conversation with you guys. And it's a good reason for it too. I think there's good reason for it. So for those of you who want to start YouTube channels, you know, I think there's probably plenty of videos out there about the dark side of YouTube, the dark side of social media, the dark side of people. You know, it's probably plenty. But unfortunately, with the amount of content that exists out there, it's impossible for all of it to be seen, as it's all competing with each other for visibility, and clicks, and all that good stuff, right? I hope my microphone's not getting muffled by this seatbelt. So if it is, my apologies. That was not my intention. But, you know, it's just like anything else. There's good and there's bad, or at least there could be good and bad. And a lot of things folks don't realize just how good or just how bad things are going to be until they find themselves in that situation, you know? It's like riding a roller coaster. It may sound like a good idea to start, maybe. The adrenaline, the excitement. But once you're strapped in and you hear those tracks clicking and climbing that hill to the top, and then there's really nothing left you can do besides hang on and scream for dear life as you barrel towards the Earth's surface thanks to gravity. And physics. And it's at that point in time where you say to yourself, man, why am I here? I probably could have made some better choices than being strapped into this roller coaster with no way out, and along for the ride for as long as it lasts. And hopefully at the end of this ride, I walk away unscathed. I walk away maybe with a few more gray hairs or whatever, a few minutes shaved off your life, but at the same time, a new experience, new life experience, a new life lesson. A lesson you could share, you could teach, or at least remember for yourself. Hey, the next time I say I want to ride a roller coaster, remind myself, I don't really want to ride a roller coaster. YouTube, I think, is the same way. I think social media in general. I think YouTube, I think TikTok is probably, those are the two. I think YouTube and TikTok are probably the two greatest. X coming in a close third, based on the direction, the trends, okay? And so if this video happens to find you, then this is just my story. Probably a story I should have told long, long ago, but here we are. And the reason why I'm telling you this story while driving in a vehicle is because I just decided that that's what I wanted to do. I felt like that was where I was going to be most comfortable today. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, then I think the idea of YouTube in itself is already somewhat uncomfortable for the majority of people out there. Maybe the majority of people who need convincing. the majority of people who are members of my group over on Patreon in school. But, you know, if turning on a camera and making videos isn't necessarily natural or comfortable, then if you want to do it, you can still do it. I encourage you to do it. However, it's going to be easier for you to do it somewhere in a way that makes you feel as comfortable as possible. It may not be talking out in public, vlogging in public, or whatever. So for me today, for this conversation, I wanted to be in a car. Probably fitting, considering the other channels that I have, one of which being a car channel that I am devoting more time and effort and energy towards naturally. Yeah. YouTube has, I guess like almost any job can mold you, right? It can mold you into this person, this character, this alter ego maybe, to do the job or do a job and do it to the point of which you make money. You put on a smile, you know? You may not like your job, but your job pays you. So you go to work even though you don't really enjoy it, and you put on a smile because that's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. Which is crazy to think that something called YouTube, in essence, forces you not to be you. Or at least it could. It could. And so I would say for anybody out there looking to get started or has already started and wants to maintain all of who they are and their sanity and preserve their mental health, be you. Be you as much as you can possibly be you. And that's it. I don't know who this video is going to reach. I have no idea. As I honestly have had no idea for the last few months, really. But if it reaches you and this isn't what you subscribed for, this isn't what you want to hear, this isn't what you want to watch, that's okay. And that's okay. But I feel like this really needs to get back to me. YouTube, me. Which, you know, I guess the question is, was it ever really me? It definitely paid the bills. It definitely worked. It definitely made money. Still does. That's, you know, it's like, but at the same time, I got to tell you guys, what the journey that I'm embarking on is uncharted territory. I don't know if this is going to work, but I actually kind of do know whether or not it's going to work, because whether or not it works depends on me. And no one else can tell me whether or not what I'm doing works. No one. YouTube is a little bit of a trap. Especially if you get big into the money and the sponsors. YouTube's a little bit of a trap. Okay? And therefore, when you get sucked into this trap, the only possible way that you could even consider YouTube working and being successful is based on YouTube telling you that YouTube's working and you're successful. But in what other part of your life do you allow some outside force to determine whether or not what you're doing is working or you're successful in what you're doing? And you know, if you let others determine and dictate your mood and your attitude and your success, that's okay. That's fine. It's not, I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, because it can happen and people don't even know that it's happening. It could be a job you work, you know, awards that you receive, milestones, records that you break, performance reviews and salary increases and bonuses and things like that. And you work for them and they tell you if what you're doing is good enough for them or not. But with YouTube, you should really work for yourself. And then if you work for yourself, the only person that can tell you whether or not what you're doing is working or is good or you're successful or not would be you. YouTube, TikTok, these other platforms, they tend to lean towards a bias. And that bias revolves around negativity, problems, drama. And odds are, if you're here and you're subscribed and you watched and you commented and you engaged, odds are it's because of the negativity, the problems, the drama drew you in, okay? Odds are. Let's just be real. Let's be honest. Because for me and many others, the problems, the negativity, the drama produce the greatest amount of views, the greatest growth in subscriber count, the greatest amount of revenue through AdSense and sponsorship opportunities. And so that's what we did. And that's what, you know, you do until you say, fuck this. I don't want to do that shit anymore. Sitting here talking about somebody else's life and somebody else's problem and somebody else's negativity and somebody else's drama, how does that actually help anybody? You know, besides the creator, in essence, at that point, who's cashing the check, which I got to tell you guys, I had a list. I quit my job in 2017 and I began working on my own since then. I closed down my business in 2022 and basically decided that I wanted to wake up and create. And since then, I haven't done that. Because the content, the videos that I've made, hundreds, thousands of them, have not been creative. They have not been creative. And, you know, to be a content creator, I was far off the mark. But like I said, it paid well. It still pays. I am making this choice, much like the job that I had. You know, the business that I ran, everything made money. I personally chose to say, you know what? I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to do something else. I'm ready to do something bigger, something better. I think, and I don't know exactly what it is yet, but it will definitely be creative. It will definitely be about me. And this is not in some, egotistical, self-centered perspective. It's just that when you come here to my channel, you get me. You get my life. You get my story. You get my thoughts, my opinions. That's what you get. You're not going to get that other shit, okay? Just putting it out there. You'll get more on Patreon, for sure. What I share, what I tell you, what I show you is going to be helpful and beneficial to those who want to take advantage of it and hopefully improve their own lives and elevate, okay? There's that. I'm going to spend more time on my car channel because I've decided, and this is a mental health move more so than a financial move, which long term financially it's going to pan out. It just will. Okay. That's just how it works. This is how it works. Okay. But from a mental health perspective, continuously searching for, curating, and delivering negativity, trash, drama, problems, bad news, it takes a toll on at least me, my sanity, my conscience. I could make a video, odds are, within the next 10 videos, I could probably make a video that would perform very well, get hundreds of thousands of views, gain hundreds, if not thousands of subscribers, make hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, pull in sponsors and make a lot of money. And then when it's all said and done, I have to step back and I have to look at it and I have to say, what good does this do the world? What good does this do society? What good does this do anyone who actually clicked on it, sat there, watched, engaged, and consumed it? And the answer is, odds are probably not much of any good. I feel like in the past we were actually working towards meaningful change, but I feel like now, more so recently, it's just really become more like a bullshit waste of time, just, going through the motions, trying to print money. And my future that I envision has little to do with subscriber counts, little to do with view counts, little to do with AdSense revenue. YouTube in itself is dangerous because YouTube, what a lot of folks kind of, all right, so there's like three categories maybe, okay? There's the folks that are monetized and make a lot of money. There's folks that are monetized and don't make a lot of money. And there's folks that aren't monetized. The ones who aren't monetized probably don't have to worry about this. The folks who are monetized and don't make much, I'm talking like make like $1,000 to $2,000 a month, doesn't matter. But the ones who are monetized, who make over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 a month from YouTube AdSense, maybe sponsors too, because sponsors are, there's that. Their greatest fear is being demonetized and losing their channel. That's their greatest fear. And it can happen to them whether it's warranted or not. And then it throws them for a loop. Some of you may be familiar with a particular channel that I've seen their name tossed around in the comments here recently about the size of their team and the staff and the salaries that they're responsible for. And if their channel becomes demonetized, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to pay out of pocket? Can they afford to pay out of pocket? Odds are maybe for a short period of time, but how long? Because these people don't, like these channels don't want to lose their teams, because their teams, They have a lot invested in their teams, and it's a huge cost to build a new team. Okay, well, let's just say you're not demonetized. Let's just say you're still monetized, but you're getting less views, you're making less money. If the team has to work harder, you have to pay them, or work longer, you have to pay them more. If you're not going to get them to work longer and you're not going to pay them more, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. And if you keep making less money, then eventually that business is going to run dry. Cash flow is a bitch. Okay. Which is why we don't do that. Which is why I teach people not to do that. Which is why I show people how to do this without doing that, because it's dangerous. And so what happens? Okay, well, perhaps maybe you get demonetized, or you get less views, or ultimately some way, shape, or form, your revenue is reduced beyond, anything outside of your own control. So what do? You scramble. Maybe it's a plan B if you've even got one in place, but you scramble. You panic. You get frustrated. You get upset. This takes a toll on your mental health, by the way, as well as your wallet, your family, your relationships, your spouse, whatever. Okay? Not good. No one that I know of would want to be forced to be pushed out of an airplane, parachute or not. Odds are, if they were pushed out of an airplane, they would prefer a parachute, but yeah. However, there are some people who like skydiving, and they do it on purpose. And in essence, I'm choosing to go skydiving. There's no need to wait until the day it could possibly come, if, when, or never. But instead, I'm in control. I've detached from YouTube, their algorithm, and AdSense, and I say, I'm just going to make what I want to make. I'm going to talk to the people I want to talk to. I am going to do the things that I want to do. And that's all that matters. And it works. It works. I know it works because I've already done it. But what I'm venturing into in this uncharted territory here is to see how it works here. But I think that, it's the old adage, mind over matter, right? You ever heard that one? If you don't mind, it don't matter. There's a lot of theories and a lot of school and trains of thought when it comes to YouTube, but no two channels are alike. This is all unique. This is all independent, and it really only takes one video to change your channel, to change your trajectory, to change your life. And as long as you don't mind, it doesn't matter. I don't mind. And when we have that video, whichever one it is, I don't know which one it is, what's going to be, I'll tell you. That's the video. That's the video that changed my channel. If you were here from the beginning, you probably remember what my channel used to be about. Now that you're here, you can say, oh, you know what? You're right. The channel is not what it used to be. It's a little different now. Well, there was a video or a few in this time frame last year that changed the channel. It happened once. It can happen again, but this time when it happens, it's going to be because it's changing to become the channel that I want it to be. The channel that not only do I think you deserve, but I know I deserve, okay? And there's that. In the meantime, I'll definitely be spending more time on the car channel. If you know, Michelle, she showed you the car on 2.0. And over there, I've never really fallen into the trap of YouTube's game, the social media game, the views game, the virality game, okay? And it's far more enjoyable. It's far more satisfying. And it has already connected me with so many wonderful people for which I can share the knowledge and information that I have about the platform to help them, help their channels, help their businesses, help their lives, help their mental health, while also helping them avoid the traps and the pitfalls. And to me, no one can tell me if I've succeeded or not, or if I'm doing well or not, when I know for a fact that I am helping to improve people's actual lives. The only way for me to do that is to deliver value, to deliver a message, to deliver what it is that naturally comes to mind and heart. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know where it's going to be. Probably won't be a studio. Probably won't be in the same location every time, but it's like, it's going to be where I'm comfortable. It's going to be where I'm comfortable and I can share and I can talk to you. That's the thing. I coach people all the time and I tell them, you know, how to deliver on their videos. And they worry about dead air and mistakes, ums and ahs. And most people don't realize this until they actually do it. But I challenge folks and I say, I tell you what, have an idea, have a thought, have a story in mind that you want to tell people, okay? The other question would be, well, how long does the video need to be? I don't know how long this video is going to be, okay? It's going to be however long it needs to be, okay? But there's your answer. If it takes you 3 minutes to tell the story, the video is 3 minutes. Don't make it longer than that. Don't try to make it shorter than that. If it takes you 3 hours to tell the story, that's how long the video needs to be. Don't try to make it longer than that, and don't try to make it shorter than that. Like literally, that's it. If it takes you 3 hours to tell the story, but you only have an hour to spare, make that video an hour and then say, I'll have to finish this later for the remaining 2 hours. This is what I teach people, okay? But what they soon realize is that as they're telling their story, the information that they truly want to deliver, not the keywords and the scripts that they want to parrot, or the videos that they think that they should be making because someone else made one like it, or in fact, a lot of others made these videos. Like, if you think, like, look at the niche that this channel was in, which it won't be for long. How many other people are talking about the same exact shit, the same exact stories and headlines that were over here? Why? Yeah, there's a reason for it. But I can pretty much guarantee you that it would be hard. You'd be hard pressed to find someone else telling you the same story that I'm telling you right now. Okay? And therefore, if you are telling your story, you essentially become a one of one, or better yet, as Alex Hormozi would put it, a one of zero. But even better, when you are telling your story, you don't make mistakes. You may forget some minor details here and there, but you don't say and you don't say and you don't trip over your words. You don't do that because this is your story. This is real. Okay? And the objective is to connect with the people that you are intending, like that the message is intended to reach. Part of what else I teach and coach and train people on is how to reach those people. And the only way to reach those people is if they know there's a high likelihood, there's a high percentage of success here, possibility of success here, if they know what they're getting themselves into. It actually simplifies the creative process of titles and thumbnails and ideas and intros and hooks and deliveries and everything, because it's simple. It's easy. For the most part, especially now, people in general do not talk in public the way that they would, or at least have been trained and conditioned to talk like they do on a YouTube video. If I meet you at a bar, I'm not going to go up to you and say, have you ever worked a job that you soon found out you didn't enjoy anymore? Have you ever wanted to quit? Have you ever wanted to start over? Well, while I'm sitting with you at this bar, these are the 3 things that we're going to discuss here. And by the end of this conversation at the bar, nobody does that shit. Nobody does that shit, okay? We're real people, okay? So there's that. Outside of that, YouTube has made it abundantly clear that we are exactly who they want. Real people. Talking about real shit. Making real connections. Perhaps maybe even engaging in real business, sales, and commerce for the products and services that they want to offer through sponsorship, brand connect opportunities, okay? YouTube's trying to get their hand in the pot. They realize that a lot of creators have already outsourced it, and YouTube's thinking, how can we get a piece of the action? Because YouTube has absolutely, completely, sideways fucked their platform by jerking creators around and making it next to impossible to maintain any form of consistency or just natural and organic reach to the subscribers they thought that they were gaining. Imagine you've got a favorite restaurant, a favorite store that you go to, you would like to go to, but every time you go, the sign has been taken down and you don't even know where they are anymore. They're still there. It's just, they're hidden. Oh, well, as a business, if you want to be seen on, by your regulars, you're going to need to pay a fee. You're going to need to pay to promote your sign that used to be there. Yeah. No. There's a much better way, folks. Trust me. However, YouTube has also introduced new tools for the creative process to boost their shorts. Why do they want to boost their shorts? Oh, so they can introduce new ads, more ads, to try and take away market share from TikTok and their sponsored videos and things like that in their TikTok shop. YouTube has even introduced AI tools to make shorts faster and easier just by typing prompts or speaking to text. Oh yeah, but by the way, YouTube's decided they're not going to actually pay creators for using the AI tools. It's just a way to get more traffic, more visibility, so that they can present more ads and make more money for them, not you. And so basically what YouTube is saying is they want more of us, real people, to consume real products and spend real money. But they also need real people, because once everyone catches wind that they're not going to pay for AI-based created content, then that too will die. And then they'll need the real people to make the real shorts to get the real consumers and customers to buy the real products and spend the real money. You tracking? It's been a long time coming, but we're finally here, or at least I am. And this is my heads up. This is my big reveal. This is my explanation for now. I may do another in the future, but for now, this is all I got. And moving forward, you're just going to get what you're going to get. If you stick around, cool. If you dip out, I understand. And beyond that, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to bring me truth, honesty, stories, value, and help as many people as I can along the way. If you would like any help, if you would like to get started, if you would like to take your channel to the next level and not necessarily have to worry about what YouTube's going to do to you, as you are, in essence, ultimately going to be in control of your own destiny, then I look forward to talking to you over on Patreon. Thanks for watching.